I would not be the new Emil. Goodness gracious. Hopefully we're in game though, and I can introduce this top left-hand player in the blue. He is known by many names, but I like to call him Peter after my favorite Peter Gabriel. He is, of course, Gabriel Sagat. It's HeRoMaRinE.
And his opponent in the south side here, representing StarCraft Gaming and Russia. He is the old veteran, the old gunslinger, back once again. The red player, it's Braddock. I'm a big fan of these old school players, Braddock, Cass, just those two.
That's it. That's pretty much, yeah, that's everybody that's left is Braddock and Cass. Everybody else is, I don't know, gotten married or had children or something stupid like that. What a waste of time, Grant.
Bring back White Ra.
They could be playing more StarCraft.
They could.
Sir.
They could.
We got a little proxy racks, though, from Braddock and Grant. I got to say, I love this to death. Look, if you're going up against Big Gabe, if you're going up against HeRoMaRinE, possibly the greatest Terran player, second greatest Terran player in Europe right now, you got to do something unexpected. If you just let HeRoMaRinE play his normal game, he's going to crush you.
Yeah, I completely agree. Now, HeRoMaRinE is going to go for a scout. I will say Braddock probably not known as a player who would proxy a lot. I have seen him do it, but it's certainly not, you know, it's not like you're playing, I want to say Max Pax, although he's got very good at everything now. It's not like you're playing some of the players that we'll have later. Wow, we're having a very intense proxy here, though. Factory also going down. And now Gabe has to figure out what kind of proxy this is. Behind this, he is getting a factory. He's not going for 2 racks. He's going to get a Reaper and probably use that to scout at home and then stay at home. Bunker going to come down as well. That's nice. Is he going to
oh my God.
proxy a siege tank?
Oh my God, Grant.
Who the F proxies a tank?
No way. No way is he actually going to proxy a siege tank here.
Yeah,
I mean, there's no chance of it. It might be for Cloaked Widow Mine. No, it's not going to be for Cloaked Widow Mines. What the hell is he building, Grant? He's going to proxy a tank. Didn't Braddock do this to us in the last DreamHack or like 2 DreamHacks ago? I think he did the exact same build where he proxied
his entire base.
And it was again, was it against HeRoMaRinE last time as well?
Yeah, it's against Gabe. He's doing the same build. And he won.
Wow. He did win that game. He did win that game. The bad news is that that HeRoMaRinE hasn't spotted this yet. He's checked for a proxy up to here and did not see it being built here.
He
still has an SCV in the main base, though, and he's like, okay, I'm at least getting proxied. If it was proxy racks, it would have hit by now. So he's probably expecting either a proxy Widowmine drop, proxy battle cruisers, or maybe something else. But a proxy full army is going to cut him very, very strange.
Yeah, now the Reapers are going to come in at the other side and they're going to be very, very frustrating, but what that means is there isn't going to be a lot, and as soon as Braddock sees his Reapers, he goes exactly as I expected here. So now we get into a weird base race kind of scenario, most likely. The bunker is going to be very useful, but how much is in it right now, Creighton? I'll tell you. It's empty. It's on the market. It's looking for new owners. We see the SCV run up the ramp now. That SCV is going to give a little bit of vision. Of course, the Marines will help as well. And right now, the problem is that there is no vision. And the other side of the map, Braddock's losing all his workers.
This is going to be a very difficult push to maintain. Obviously, the siege tank's going to be nice, but he's not going to have very many scans to do this. As soon as HeRoMaRinE moves out of the way, he can repair this bunker up, and the bunker's going to stay alive. There's no way this gets taken down. Viking's going to help out quite a bit. The mass repair, though, going down in this bunker is going to save HeRoMaRiNE's bacon for a lot longer. And Braddock is done. His game is over. He cannot build anything else, Grant. He's going to have 0 workers before too long. He's got to win with 3 tanks, 7 Marines, and a Viking.
But I think he can. Like, this position right now where this siege tank is absolutely incredible. It can hit the starport. It can hit anything that moves forward. Can it hit this rack? No, not quite. But now the tanks are moving very, very slowly. Gabe needs to have as much time as possible to get as many units out as possible. The scan here is a little frustrating. He doesn't really need to use that, but of course this Viking makes it more trickier. As my phone runs out of battery next to me and scares the life out of me. Oh, now we see a big push coming forward. SCV's coming for line. The tanks aren't sieged here, Creighton.
Perfect timing here. Unsieged tanks is exactly the moment to attack. And remember, even if HeRoMaRinE loses 17, 18, or 19 more workers, he's still in good shape. And yeah, Braddock knows he can't do it. Leaving those tanks all unsieged at the same time is a bit of a bold move. And while I like what Braddock was trying there, his execution left a little bit to be desired, Grant.
I wonder if that was a hotkey mistake, unsieging every tank when he just meant to unsiege one. I obviously, I don't know, maybe his plan was, okay, all or nothing, balls to the wall, Hail Mary, I just go forward. But if he had just moved 1 or 2 tanks further forward, a little bit slower again, there was still the possibility that the game was not over. I think Gabe's defense was good. His damage at the other side of the map obviously was game ending for Brattok, but Brattok's army was stronger. And now we move on to 2,000 atmospheres for map 2, and that is the quickest win Gabe will have all week.
Yeah, absolutely. HeRoMaRinE, by the way, great courage under pressure there. I think we talked a little bit about this on our previous cast, but HeRoMaRinE is definitely one of those submarine captain kind of players where he is just cool as a cucumber under fire all the time, Grant. 3 proxy tanks outside of his base. He's just like, okay, these are the 10 things I have to do now to win this game, starting here and working my way down the list. If I don't do them, I die. And if I do them, maybe I get to live a little bit longer. And staying cool under pressure is an incredible, incredible skill. HeRoMaRinE waiting until his tanks were unsieged, pulling the SCVs at exactly the right time, and putting the Posh on game number 1. Still has not dropped a map in DreamHack Summer. Perfect 7-0 so far.
And I have to say, Creighton, there's something in my heart that truly respects anyone who will proxy a tank. The late great Total Biscuit, John Bone, of course, famous for his ladder sessions, which I'm trying to remember what he called them. I can't remember. He had a name for his ladder series. I can't remember off the top of my head. But there's a famous quote where he goes, "Who the F word proxies a tank?" And now we get to see it in the top level of play. So he's very, very, very much missed. And Brattok keeping the legacy going. Let's hop into game 2 before I cry. Because our first player, if I can get the scores right here, in the bottom left, leading the series 1-0, representing Mouse Sports, one of the longest tenured players, actually, for a team. Now, it is the German Terran player, Giant Gabe. It's HeRoMaRinE.
His opponent. Up at the top right, proxying yet again, Grant, but this time he's sending a second SCV to proxy a second barracks. In the red. Yeah, no, keep it on the barracks. Who cares about the main base? In the red, from StarCraft Gaming. He is, of course, Brattok from Russia.
Did my spinning on the barracks instead.
That was gorgeous. Gorgeous
Thank you.
work,
Thank you.
I appreciate it. So double proxy racks this game, and this is something we were just saying yesterday, Grant. How we haven't had a lot of cheese in the B stream.
It was today.
It's been a
We
lot
said
of
it about an hour ago.
Oh yeah, sorry, or last game. What is time
not
when you're
scouting.
casting this much StarCraft? HeRoMaRinE's not scouting. He doesn't see this coming, and oh my God, is it going to be concussive shell Marauders? Only
With a
one
couple
gas
of
taken
Marines.
from Brattok, but I think it's going to be great. Yeah, that sort of hybrid proxy build from Brattok. This looks really dangerous. Can't wait to see if HeRoMaRinE spots it or if he can deal with it. Oh my God, he's going double. He's going proxy concussive from Marauders the whole time.
Can he afford this off of 1 gas? I guess so. He knows a lot better than I do. So we can see now that the first proxied Marauder is on the way. Concussive Shell, a very quick upgrade. It's one of those upgrades you don't really think about taking not a lot of time, but it's already about 33% done. But this has now been scouted. Gabe knows what he is up against and needs to prepare. He probably needs to pull SCVs early. He's going to get a bunker as well up on the high ground, which I don't, of course, hate. 2 bunkers, very, very much prefer to 1 bunker, but Concussive Shell's already 80% done here, Creighton, and these Marauders hit hard, especially against buildings.
Yeah, this is actually really dangerous here. There's an SCV to sort of move up the ramp and scout as well. SCV's pulled offline from HeRoMaRinE to try and get us around. He's got double Reaper as well, so he can pick off this SCV, so it can't be on the ramp, but now the 2 Marauders are here. So HeRoMaRiNE's just going to retreat. He's going to sacrifice one of the SCVs, finish up both bunkers, and then he should be able to get a reactor down on his barracks, and he's going to be just fine. Obviously, trying to pick off any Marauders that are coming across, but I think HeRoMaRiNE's just held this, Grant. That was pretty easy.
Yeah, as soon as the tank comes out as well, this becomes a considerably easier hold. We can see here, in fact, our red Terran player is going to be forced to retreat. Maybe have to catch a couple of Reapers here. That would be nice. That would be a decent inroads into this game, but it's still going to be very difficult. Marauder production is still in full flow. Finally, the factory going down at home here, and the Reaper is going to be able to get in as well. There's nothing to defend against this Reaper. 1 Marauder is waddling his way back. It's going to take a bloody long time, and this Reaper is going to be able to do a lot of work during that time. Gabe is one of those players, one of those young players with incredible micro. He won't mess this up. Please don't make me look dumb. Meanwhile, look how difficult this is. There are a couple of Marines. The tank is just shelling away, and I just can't see any way that damage is done on the other side of the map. The Reaper is now going to regen as well. You can see its hack points going up. It will finally go down to the Marauder. But look at the SCV count. HeRoMaRiNE has such a phenomenal lead.
Phenomenal lead indeed, Grant. It's absolutely terrifying to see how far ahead HeRoMaRiNE is right now in this game. Would not be surprised to see him slapping down a CC, probably on the high ground. But once that CC starts up, I mean, it lights out. There's no way Braddock can really expand behind this. He's floating his barracks over to try and scout, but just such a slow opener from him. And this is one of those games, Grant, that I feel like by the end of the game, people are going to go, oh, what could Braddock have even done? HeRoMaRiNE's so far ahead. And you're right. Braddock just sort of gambled and lost on his first strategy. He's going to have an enormous hole to dig himself out of. Not that the game's over, but that it's about as close as it'll ever be.
Yeah, it all comes down to, does the Reaper see the proxy? And the answer was yes. Purely and simply. Now, the scouting barracks is going to come in, survey the land. It will it will see the situation that Braddock has got himself into. He's certainly not looking good here. He won't be happy to see that the starport is done, has a tech lab, and already Raven popping out. Meaning in terms of technology, he is very behind. HeRoMaRiNE is going free CC off of the back of this. Went ahead, get more ahead, win behind Dark Shrine. Braddock unfortunately doesn't have the power of Protoss behind him, so will be forced to stick with just trying to macro his way out of this. He does have his CC going down on the low ground, but it's... To say it is, he doesn't have to climb a mountain. He has to climb, like, a planet. A mountainous planet. He has to climb a planet with mountains. He has to do Everest and then all the mountains around it.
Surely there's a name for all the mountains around Everest.
I don't know. Crappier Everest.
Sure, we'll go with that. Not
as tall Everest.
So, do you want to hear a fun Mount Everest fact, Grant?
Always.
So the first time that climbers were able to determine how high Mount Everest was, they determined that it was 29,000 feet high. Exactly.
What?
And they were like, nobody is going to believe us if we say this mountain is exactly 29,000 feet high. So they artificially added, they lied. They said it was 29,002 feet high so that people wouldn't write them off as lying about how high the mountain was. It's obviously gotten higher since then, but when it was first surveyed, it was exactly 29,000 feet.
And just like that, we learn something new and learn about the dangers of global warming.
What?
I don't know.
It's taller now than it was.
Yeah, because everything around it shrunk. I don't know. How's it taller?
The Earth's crust, Grant. So let's talk about tectonic plates for a while.
Toast?
Exactly. So if you imagine,
I like toast.
Imagine the Earth. Let's talk about StarCraft, Grant. We don't have time for this.
No, we don't. Okay. The Raven went in, did manage to find a little bit of damage with an auto turret. It's necessary damage. Braddock needs a hell of a lot more to claw himself back into this, but it's a start. He is getting his third CC. He is about probably a minute and a half behind in a 6.5 minute game right now. If you were to think of it in times, that's where his build is. Concussive shells starting for Gabe, instantly cancelled. And he goes, bugger it, I'll get Stim and some more tanks instead.
Much smarter play.
Yeah, I mean, look at the army right now that Gabe has managed to build. He has 2 Ravens to... Oh, they both have 2 Ravens. Okay, that's good that Braddock has had the gas to squeeze those out. But economy-wise, 5 workers down here on the natural compared to the 13 here for Gabe. It's a big worker differential, which means in terms of income, Gabe is only going to be getting further and further ahead. He's about 500-600 minerals per minute ahead right now. A couple of Marines going to come out here, try and get these add-ons. One will die, and it floated up!
Yeah, you just caught the... Here, watch the corpse. Watch the corpse. It's going to float upward off the screen because they're all underwater. You've never seen this before on 2K Atmos?
Never noticed it.
My favorite part of the map. It's beautiful.
Mine too now.
Grant, we always talk about StarCraft as a game of optimizations, right? You got to take your investment and get the most money out of that mineral investment you possibly can. And so what happens in this sort of game is that Braddock starts making all the most optimal plays possible. Yeah. That means he's cutting a lot behind this,
Precisely.
right? And if you look at the upgrades tab, you'll see exactly what our boy Braddock has been cutting here. Sure, he's got concussive shells on the way, but look at what HeRoMaRiNE's doing. +1 and +1. Dim. HeRoMaRiNE's adding on his 4th and 5th barracks. His 3rd base is so much earlier. And like we said earlier, this game just going to be way in HeRoMaRiNE's control. It would take, I think at this point, probably a HeRoMaRiNE mistake for this game to go in Braddock's favor. He's going double armory. He's going mech. What a baller.
Yeah. I mean, it's not well... Mech's not something that we see a lot of right now in TVT. On 2K Atmos, I've seen very little mech. But if you want to catch your opponent off guard, play something that maybe from behind they aren't as well practiced against. And if Brattok has been practicing his mech builds, there's an opportunity. Now, Gabe, I believe, did scan, is fully aware of what he is against. Yes, that is correct. And so he is going to be able to move out. Mech is very, very vulnerable early, but his army is starting to get quite strong. As long as Brattok can slow the pace of the game down, get to a position where he has a lot of tanks. He needs a lot of tanks, like huge amounts. And he really doesn't need to die here.
No, those interference matrices are just going to be the start of, I was going to say the icing on the cake, but whatever's the base of the cake that HeRoMaRinE is building now. He's got all of his tanks still alive, and even the SCVs, and as well as Vikings do against tanks, man. Just don't think it's going to be enough. HeRoMaRinE lands his own tanks, and you can see that the battle debris flying up over, even with a little bit of the surround here. HeRoMaRiNE's going to do a really nice job. Decent defense, honestly, by Brattok, but HeRoMaRiNE's got more behind this, and it's 75 workers now to 47.
Yeah, if the SCVs hadn't died, I'd have been like, well, but the SCVs did die.
HeRoMaRiNE can land on the high ground and shell down the... Oh, man, those Vikings can land on the high ground.
Yeah, there are two Vikings about to pop out here. Now, this is very annoying. There's a Hellion coming out and a tank coming out, and now we have the Viking fight. Actually, Gabe is going to end up losing these in a very unusual fight. That wasn't the worst again for Brattok, and we're really looking for small... He needs miracles at this point. Now, he is getting his 1-1 armory upgrades here for his vehicles. He's getting as many Vikings as he can. He's going to try and get some Hellbats for some frontline at some point. He does have the armory, so these Hellions can Hellbat up relatively soon. And he's going to repair everything he has. And again, he has 3 bases. He needs to saturate it. He's muling the ever-loving heck out of it to try and catch up in terms of income. And you can see right now, he is still behind despite the fact he just dropped all these mules. But Brattok has hung on. He's hanging on by a fingertip. And this is how you punish mech rating.
He's been trying to climb Mount Gabe. He's slipped on the surface, and he's hanging on by a fingertip like the hero of an action movie. The landed Vikings distracting the stuff up into the main. There's going to be a drop into the natural. And HeRoMaRiNE, these are very low-cost attacks for HeRoMaRiNE. He can throw away as much army supply as he wants. Every single SCV he kills is a higher percentage of Brattok's SCVs than HeRoMaRiNE would be losing with the same one. So this is just great work here by HeRoMaRiNE to slowly pick his opponent down and not go for like a big all-in, pull-the-boys sort of attack like we might see a less experienced player doing.
I wouldn't even say he's slowly picking them apart at this rate. It's starting to speed up. The picking aparting has accelerated. Now we see another push here. Liberator's going to try and hold, but there is a little bit here. There is too much. A GG. HeRoMaRiNE takes a 2-0.